4 MLS sides advanced after 2 games, a clean sweep in this best of 3 series. LA Galaxy, Minnesota United, Seattle, and the aforementioned New York Red Bulls. Of these sides, which one of these, the matchups was most impressive? LA Galaxy won 9-1 between the 2 games. Minnesota, 2 games in penalties, and Seattle, very tight margins there too.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Galaxy, brilliant, and Colorado overmatched. Minnesota did the job. I think that RSL was up for the fight a little bit. Chicho Arango dropping off a cliff for RSL was extremely poor for them. That really was a big blow. The way that game went down in Houston with Seattle, it was nuts. Of course, we had Ache being sent off after getting admonished. Did he get a yellow card on the kick from behind? He goes in,
he smashed the guy,
kicks a Seattle player from behind. Referee's like, yo, bro, you can't do that. He decides that he's upset about the decision, which is wild to me, and then spits on the ground in the general direction of the referee. Now, he didn't spit at the referee, but it was clearly dissent on a level that goes beyond the pale. I have no idea why he thought he could get away with that, and it really did. It did, but you can't put it all on his shoulders, but you can make an argument that it undid Houston season in that one moment.
I didn't enjoy the Houston players surrounding the referee after giving that red card either. That was very South American referee behavior there. And typically MLS referees get a little bit more reverence than that.
Well, the league has been pretty strong on the, what do they call it? Mass confrontation, right? They've been pretty strong on mass confrontation over the last couple of years, which I think has done a pretty decent job. I don't get too in my feelings about that kind of stuff. I do think the referees in general are treated pretty poorly. I mean, of course, bad referees, it's hard to say, hey, they deserve better when they're being bad referees. But in this case, no, there's no argument. Your guy just spit in the direction of the referee. That's not allowed, Robert. That's not allowed.
And then so LA Galaxy, got to say Ricky Puig, he's really grown on me. His is that a Dragon Ball or a Street Fighter celebration where he does the hands out like this, like the fire?
It's probably the former. I'm not up on my anime, Robert. You'll have to help me out with what's popular with the kids these days. What is it? One Punch Man? I don't know. What else is there? I don't know.
I know guys go Super Saiyan left and right in
there's that. There's that. I know people like Daryl DK are constantly talking about various anime that I'm not aware of. So again, it's a generational gap, I think.
He also talks about chewing on bottle caps. I remember Daryl DK. But New York Red Bulls, I wanted to ask you this. Are they a Columbus bogey team or are they a legit contender for the MLS Cup?
That's the thing. I find it hard to believe that they're going to come out of that Eastern Conference. They do still have some good teams in front of them if they want to, break the curse of Red Bull and finally win an MLS Cup. They famously don't have one in their history, either as the Metro Stars or as Red Bull. And, we have one game left to determine who they're going to face in that matchup between Cincinnati and NYCFC. I think Cincinnati's a better team. They'll have home field advantage in a one-off. Remember, we go from the best of 3 to a one-off, Robert. I believe extra time is back in play. So, there's more. The parameters of this change. And can the Red Bulls do in one game in Cincinnati what they were able to do over 2 games against Columbus? But again, give them credit for winning in Columbus, which I think a lot of people didn't think was possible.
No, that was definitely a shocker. And I really did think that Columbus was in trouble after losing at home. And you're talking about the format. 3 of these matchups settled by penalties over the weekend. Lots of penalties. Do you think that these games would have benefited from having the extra time, or is it good to limit minutes?
Man, well, I if you're talking about the aggregate of these players and what they're doing over this period, I suppose you could argue extra time in every one of these games, because it's possible, would be too much. That being said, it does let you down a little bit. I mean, there's drama. Don't get me wrong. There's drama. And the way that it went in Houston, for example, with Christian Roldan's own goal that gives Houston an opportunity to go to a penalty kick shootout where ultimately they lose. You are watching the end of those games and thinking, okay, what are we going to get for added time? How is that going to impact what might happen? Trying to get to penalty kicks. Penalty kicks are not satisfying when it comes to determining the winner of a soccer game, Robert, but they are what we do. And we don't really have a better option right now unless MLS goes to the 30-yard kickoff, shootout or something like that, which I'm not even sure I want. I don't even want that. The 30-yard thing. No, no.
And so to wrap up this long ball number 2, the game 3s are this upcoming weekend, scattered over Friday and Saturday. And then for the teams that won and went through after 2 games, LA Galaxy, Minnesota United, Seattle, and New York Red Bulls, they will have to wait about 20 days for their next match in the conference semifinal.